So you registered for your first con. You're thinking about making sure you have everything ready. You're not sure what it's all going to entail. You're just a little bit nervous and want to, get an idea of what's all going on. Well, lucky for you, this is a full, comprehensive guide to your first Furry Con. So, conventions as a newcomer or just having your first event, especially for me, was very anxiety-inducing. So, not only am I making this for people who, this might be their first con, but I'm also making this for people like me who forget everything all the time. I will go into during this things that I normally forget. So, think of this as kind of just a comprehensive little list that, a few days before a con, you can listen to and do a double check of all the stuff you need and just stuff to get excited for at conventions. Let's get right on into it. Section 1, preparing for the con. So, like all good adventures, it can't start with the convention. You gotta get ready. You gotta make sure all your stuff is packed. So, I like to follow a very, very important rule. Everything packed at least 2 days beforehand. That means that you have time to think about what you might have forgotten. It gives your brain enough time to, remember, oh, I forgot a charger. Oh, I should grab an extra SD card. I should make sure my camera's batteries are in their bag and not charging somewhere else that I don't realize until I get to the con. Things that you most definitely need. Deodorant, a toothbrush, pack a comb. You can't look this beautiful without a little bit of a comb. Basic travel necessities, like your phone charger, maybe a battery pack. Anything that will make the journey and your stay at the hotel that you're staying at just that little bit easier. Especially if you don't like hotel shampoo and conditioner, be sure to remember to bring your own, because otherwise you're out of luck for the entire con. Don't be afraid to pack extras. My go-to is plan like you're going to have diarrhea every single day. Double pairs of everything, underwear, socks, couple shorts, pajama pants, all the kind of things that you could think of. Better to plan for the worst case and get the best case. One of the most important things that you can pack is your badges, pins, any furry accessories that you want to bring to the con. I'll be honest, because I like keeping mine up here, I often forget to put them in my bag so that when I go to a con, if I'm not in fursuit, I tend to not end up having a badge, and it has caused issues in the past. Prepare outfits for a convention. Cons are a great safe space to try out experimenting how you want to look or even how you want to express your gender. It is a absolute safe space that has definitely helped me kind of figure out how I want to start dressing when I'm more out and proud in real life instead of just in furry life. And don't forget to pack snacks. Snacks are going to be important, especially after you wake up hungover and nothing in your life is better than chugging a Gatorade and eating 5 Pop-Tarts. Trust me, we've all been there. And if you are going to drink, bring a couple things of Pedialyte. Trust me, it helps. Now remember, the smallest things are the easiest to overlook. Always double check that your cameras have batteries, SD cards, everything that you are excited to bring, make sure it has all the stuff needed to make that work. Now, if you're a fursuiter, this is going to look a little different. But that's mostly because you are packing a giant carpet, and you are going on a much bigger adventure because you have a lot more luggage, you lucky dog, you. So, with packing your fursuit, one of the first things you're going to want to pack is your fursuit. It is always a good idea, especially if you're traveling by car, to have a fursuit tote. Usually a large plastic bin that can fit your fursuit, all the accessories that we'll go over in a moment, and any outfits that you want to put on it. Essentially, it's a secure way to make sure that your very expensive costume does not get damaged and arrives in one piece. A big awesome thing about them as well is how much you can personalize a fursuit tote. by covering them in stickers. Now, fursuit supplies, as always, you want to bring a comb. Nothing better than brushing and keeping your fur as pretty as possible. It makes every picture look 100 times better, I promise you. Next is going to be fursuit spray. Let's be honest, it's a convention. You're going to be running around. You're going to be having fun, but you are going to get tired. You're going to get sweaty. And if you let that just sit on your fursuit, it is going to smell by Saturday and Sunday. So, fursuit spray is a 50-50 isopropyl alcohol and water mix, and you can usually put a couple drops of essential oil of whatever smell you would like. And after you're done suiting, just give it a good spray down with it so that it can kill bacteria. If you don't bring any, a lot of the time dealers' dens will have people selling them. So you could be on the lookout for the best smells possible. I have one that smells like cotton candy and smells good. And last but not least, double check your accessories. Don't forget your paws. Don't forget your tail. Don't forget your feet paws. And don't forget your fursuit head because you have it hanging up on a head mount somewhere in your house, and forget to put that in because everything else is in your tote. It'll happen, and you'll feel very stupid. Make sure you have it all together at least 2 days beforehand. So if you are driving to the convention, double check that your car is all gassed up, you've got an oil change recently, make sure all your fluids are at a good level. The last thing you want is your car breaking down in somewhere you're not familiar with. That can be one of the most stressful things that will ever happen to you. But that should be everything. And you have 2 days to still think about and remember everything you need and add it to it if you haven't already. Now let's go on to section 2. Well, congratulations! Hopefully you packed everything and you are now at the convention. I don't know which one it is, but I'm excited for you. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do is go to registration and make sure that you get your badge. Now, a lot of places you can pre-reg for usually a cheaper price, but if not, they all have in-person registration. There, usually you will be given a pamphlet of some kind. Usually it will either have a QR code or an actual physical schedule. This will allow you to, if you haven't already, start planning for the entirety of the con. And one of the big things that you can look forward to are panels. Panels are exclusive to these conventions and will take up most of your time there. These range from dance competitions to group meetups that allow you to find people that share similar interests to you, or things that, you know, if you brought a fursuit, they have fursuit games. They have gaming lounges that sometimes will host, you know, D&D campaigns of a small scale or different types of tabletop homebrews. So no matter what kind of thing you're into, there's going to be panels that you can go to have fun at. Now, if you want to participate in a fursuit dance comp, a lot of the time you do need to sign up for those before the events happen. But this should be a good opportunity for you to experience them and see if it's something that you want to try yourself. And I do recommend it. They are very fun and a good way to express yourself. One of the other biggest time sinks is going to be your friends. All those people that you've met online and have chatted to and played games with, you're probably going to end up meeting them now that you're going to a furry con. And especially if these people are experienced con goers. If you are new to conventions and they know all the fun stuff, they might help you figure out things that you enjoy doing at these cons, or, you know, just make sure that you have a good time. Hanging out with friends at cons is a very good way to make sure that you have awesome, memorable moments. I definitely don't think of the panels too much in like fond memories, even though they're fun and really enjoyable. What I do remember the most is all the stupid stuff that I do with my friends and all the fun I have doing those things. And that's a lot of the magic of cons, is just having fun, being yourself, and being able to express yourself without having to worry about as much judgment as you would outside of a con. Now, for a lot of cons, you're traveling, so one of the last things that you could do at the con is if you have downtime, explore the city you're in. Exploring is a good way to spend some of your, although very limited, downtime at a con. You've traveled all this way, and you're probably in an area that you've never seen before. Feel free to take some of this time to see things that you would like to see. And feel free to bring your friends. Heck, bring them all. Make a whole group outing at it. Go have some fun. When I was at Furry Weekend Atlanta, I had some free time on Friday, and I decided to go, to the aquarium, and it was amazing. It's just, you're already somewhere new. Why not experience some of it? If you're at MFF, go point at the bean. If you're in Atlanta, go to the aquarium. If you're in Milwaukee, well, I don't know. Go look at the lake. I live in Milwaukee and I don't even know what to tell you to go do. Section 3. Self-care during the con. You are in a very crowded place, so one of the most important things is going to be your personal hygiene. You don't want to be the person who, when everyone's walking by, they get the smell and they go, ugh. Because that's hard to live down. So personal self-care is the most important thing at a convention. It will always come first. It only takes 5 minutes to hop in the shower real quick. You can go to your panel with some wet hair. Heck, you could fursuit with some wet hair if you really have to. It's not the end of the world. Most of us, we wear balaclavas for that reason. But the main thing to live by at cons is the 6-2-1 rule, which, is a very important rule that I think all of us should memorize at least after our first con. But this is 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, 1 shower per day, at least, and this is if you're not a fursuiter. If you are a fursuiter, it is recommended that you shower after every fursuiting endeavor. You're going to be sweaty in there. That's when you clean your suit, spray it with isopropyl alcohol, and then you take a shower. And then everybody's clean, everybody's happy, there's no issues. And remember, your medical issues don't go away during a convention. You remember to keep things such as your inhaler, EpiPens, Tylenol for headaches, things that can keep you healthy at a con. My recommendation is always have some Pepto-Bismol on hand. And if your tummy even hurts just a little bit, have a sip. It helps. It gets me through almost any con. Whenever I get that little bit of anxiety and my tummy gets all nervous and crampy, it saves the day. Now, not only should you have the stuff to take care of yourself, but you should have stuff to take care of your fursuit. Like we talked about, your isopropyl alcohol spray is going to be very important, but having sewing equipment is always useful. Fursuits, they're made out of fabric. Not every stitch is going to hold, especially when you're moving around and being silly. I always recommend at least understanding how to do the blanket stitch. It's a very simple stitch and can fix almost any issue from a ripped seam in your fursuit. But if you struggle with that, a lot of cons will have a cosplay medic or a fursuit medic that you can contact to help you if need be. So it's always a good idea to be on the lookout for them if you don't have any of the equipment or something happens. But we're always going to reach that time that every convention has. That's the worst part of it. And that is the convention ending. So now that the con is over, one of the biggest things you'll be dealing with is A, packing everything back into your car and not forgetting anything, but also B, a wonderful thing called post-con depression. Now, you're going to feel sad. You're not going to be sure why, but you're going to be pretty upset. At least it's going to be some level of a kind of depression for a few days. You're going to miss all the fun you had and kind of the struggle of returning to normal life after being literally a party animal for an entire weekend. Now, this can differ from person to person, but more than likely you will end up getting it. The same goes for con crud, and that is just kind of the illness that everybody ends up getting if you were not careful about your hygiene or washing your hands enough, or heck, some sick person just kind of sneezed on you at the wrong time of the day. Whatever happened. The same goes for con crud. If you're around a lot of people in close proximity, Be sure to keep a lookout for cold symptoms for a few days after going home. And especially in today's climate, it's never a bad idea for a few days after the con to take a COVID test, just to be sure. And while I can't really help you with getting sick, there are ways that you can help yourself with dealing with post-con depression. A lot of the big things is, hang out with some furry friends, both online and in person. Start attending IRL furry events. A lot of areas, especially in the United States, have furry bowling meets or furry outings or just, hangouts, parties. It's a good way to start socializing within your local community. It makes everything a lot more fun because then you're not looking forward to, one con every year, but, a party every month that you can look forward to. It makes it a lot easier and a lot more manageable to have fun in the community. You could also try drawing, streaming, sewing even. There are plenty of great options to get involved in the fandom and to help kinda, scratch that furry itch that you always have. Well, I hope this has been a helpful instructional guide for your first, or heck, even your latest furry con. And I would like to thank you so much for joining me today, watching the video, and, watching all the way to the end. You're awesome for doing that. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I am working super hard on bringing this channel back to posting a lot more videos, as well as regularly posting over on my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/ChewiesCause. And the link will be down in the description. We also have a Discord that you can check out, and a secondary channel that posts stream highlights if you like that kind of thing. But with all that, I would like to thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and bye!